What is going on, guys? Robbie here. Hope you guys are doing great. We are going to be talking and kind of breaking down. I haven't really given my thoughts too much on, Tiger Woods' victory at the 2019 Masters. What an exciting time it was for golf and I think for the whole world of sports. And I don't think you're going to find somebody out there who has an opinion, that's a bad opinion about this victory, about this moment in time. I was down in Florida. I MC CrossFit events, as many of you guys know. I was down in Florida, and when they announced that the event was going to be, moved up from Saturday to Sunday, which, or from, Sunday afternoon to Sunday morning, kind of breaking them up to two tee times. Some we're going to start on the back nine, some we're going to start on the front nine, and getting to the, top. I think it was their, groups of three. First off, hats off to Augusta. That's a very bold move when it comes to the overall kind of aspect of what it means and what is going to be going on in terms of the Masters. Because you look at the Masters and you look at, okay, what does the Masters mean? You look at television deals. You look at all the things, and especially going into this day in the final day with Tiger right up at the top of the leaderboard. And he was a couple strokes back from Francesco Molinari. Obviously, he came back and he won the thing. We'll get into that a little bit. But for the Masters to come out and for the people and the people who were in charge at Augusta to come back and say, hey, we need to change this. There's something wrong. We need to, make this an actual thing. We need to make sure that no matter what, they get to play all day on Sunday. We don't have any interruptions. I know they said there were storms in the forecast. So that, I think, had a lot to do with them going on and moving forward with the whole, how are we going to be able to get people to be able to watch this, but at the same time, make sure the players can play all 18 on Sunday. You don't want people. It's a long week. Obviously, it's an emotional roller coaster for a lot of people, and especially for the fans and the players themselves. It's good. It's got to be one of those things. And I know earlier in the weekend they had some problems with storms. I believe it was on 16 on Saturday when Tiger was on 16, and they called a rain delay or they saw lightning or something like that. They had to go back in the clubhouse, restart. Tiger ended up missing that putt on 16 after he put it pretty close. And it's one of those things, guys, where you look at it and the big picture in yourself. What does this mean, not only for the sport of golf, but what does it mean for sports in general? Whether you like golf, whether you don't like golf. I know a lot of people out there think that golf is boring. It's a sport where you can just sleep the entire time and you don't miss anything. I'll be the first to admit, I think that's a very valid argument. It's an argument because you can literally go and you can sleep for an hour, take an hour nap, wake up, they're on the back nine, or they've only gotten a couple holes in. You didn't really miss much. You're rested. You can watch the rest of the tournament, no problem. And that's the beauty of golf. I think a lot of people are like, oh, well, golf's so boring. How can you get excited about it? Sunday, 2 weeks ago, is why you can get excited about it. Tiger freaking Woods, in my opinion, the greatest golfer of all time. I'm a little biased. He is part of my generation. I grew up watching Tiger. I was part of the generation. I was born in 1990, turned 29 just the other day. I was part of the generation that when Tiger Woods was starting to get hot, I was starting to, I guess, watch or understand the game of golf. I don't think I started playing it until a little while longer, but I remember coming home after church on Sundays and Tiger being right up there in that Sunday red. And it was almost a little nostalgic coming home and, getting to watch it. I was down in Florida. I didn't get to watch the entire round live. I've since gone back and watched pretty much every shot that he took, but I was able to watch holes, and thank goodness for the Masters app. I mean, it's incredible. No matter where you were in the world, you could watch the Masters. And that's what's so cool. So many people have so much things to say about technology and the way things are covered. for golf, and especially for the Masters, especially for when Tiger is in contention or is in the lead or has any sort of inkling that he's going to win a tournament, he is good for the game of golf. He is the game of golf. He's the needle. He is the rating. It does not matter what anybody else is doing. It doesn't matter if Brooks Koepka or DJ or Jordan Spieth or JT or Bubba. It does not matter. I mean, Bubba, over the last, I'd say 5-6 years, the only person to really move the needle like Tiger, and it's hard to compare because no one moves the needle like Tiger. No one has, no one ever had. I don't think no one ever will. But the closest person to ever even show an inkling in moving the needle was Bubba. Bubba's won 2 green jackets. He is a flashy golfer. He lets his emotions get to him sometimes, which makes it entertaining. You know, as much as you want to say that for the longest time, Tiger Woods' attitude and Tiger Woods' anger got the best of him on the course, it made it entertaining because you didn't know what was going to come out of his mouth. That's why I think so many people thought the match last fall was going to be F-bombs this, F-bombs that. And for the amount of golf that they played, that was awful. I thought you were going to get more of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I thought we were going to get more F-bombs. I thought we were going to get more swearing. Not that I think that swearing is good for the game of golf, but it's that you don't know what's going to happen that makes things entertaining. It's the unknown and unknowable. I'm from the CrossFit world, and that's kind of the theme of CrossFit, the unknown and unknowable. That's the same thing with golf. Golf is a hard game. I don't care if you're the best player in the world or you are the worst player in the world. Anybody can win a tournament. Not anybody, but, you know, nowadays there are so many people that are in contention every single week. This past weekend at the RBC Heritage, one of the most stacked fields in the game. Yes, a lot of people are just coming off Augusta. A lot of people have just came off the Masters. But at the same time, you had all of these people that were going into looking for a win. CT Pan won the tournament for the first time in his career. It's crazy to me because I look at all these golfers, and there are so many great golfers in the world today. There are so many people in the world that are great golfers. I mean, you look at the talent, the young talent that's around. And you look at the JTs, the Spieths, the McIlroys, the Dustin Johnsons, the Finals. Because, I mean, listen, it's tremendously long. And you look at all of those golfers, there's probably about 30 to 40 guys who on any given week could win a tournament. And it's so crazy when you look at that, and it makes Tiger's win last couple weeks ago at the Masters that much better, that much more impressive. This guy's 43 years old. He's a restaurateur. He's a father. He's gone through 4 back surgeries, knee surgeries. He's had all the scandals in the world. He has had his face plastered on the New York Post for months because of something bad he did. And I'm not saying that the stuff that he did was right. It wasn't. He has done some awful things in his life. I'll be the first to admit it. And I think if you don't make that a part of the narrative, if you don't make that a part of the story, then you're leaving a part that's an important part. A lot of people are going to say, oh, well, he's an awful person. He cheated on his wife. He was a serial, adulterer and all that stuff. Like he was all this stuff. He did some awful stuff. And yes, he did do some awful stuff. I will be the first to admit it. If you do not think that Tiger Woods did some awful stuff, then you need to go back and look it out. He did some awful stuff back in the day. But it's a story that's a part of the story. He was a guy at the top of the game, probably the top of sports from when he went on the scene and won that first Masters back in 97 throughout the last 20 plus years. He has been the standard in golf. Everybody growing up, Jack was before him. Arnie was before him. And, Arnie and Jack and Gary and Tom and all those guys, that was the standard before Tiger. Then Tiger came on. He has become the standard, and I don't know if we're ever going to see a player like him again. People say it all the time, and people said that about Jack. People said, we're never going to see another player like Jack again. Fast forward 20-something years, and Tiger Woods comes on the scene. It's exciting, but at the same time, I don't know if we are ever going to see someone that transcends the sports world, that transcends the real world like Tiger Woods does. The story of him being at an all-time high and then an all-time low, fighting addiction, fighting serial affairs. He was, cheated on his wife, getting attacked by his wife with a golf club. Everybody knows that. Everybody's seen that mugshot of his after he was driving under the influence of some narcotics. Everybody has seen that stuff. But the thing that gets me is the fight back from that. The fight back, man, it's incredible to think about all of it. And what that means for the sport of golf and what it means for the sport of life. That somebody can be at such a high and then be such at a low. And a couple of years ago, not even know if he would be able to swing a club again, not even know if he would be able to walk properly again. And comes back and wins the Masters. A lot of people weren't sure if he was going to win a tournament. He put that to bed last year after he won the Tour Championship. Yes, a lot of people were like, oh, it was a limited field. There's only 30 people, all this stuff, blah, blah, blah. But you know what? He came back and he won the Masters. And he didn't win the Masters, and he didn't win the Masters without a fight. And he'll be the first to tell you, he said it multiple times in his press conference. It was tough. It was very tough for him. It was a fight. It was a grind. Some people had to make some mistakes. He had to make some opportunities. And you look at what holes are the most important ones. You look at that 12th hole, and the mystique of that 12th hole is incredible. It's almost like everything kind of came into fruition on that 12th hole. There are so many people out there, and I was listening to the No Laying Up podcast, and they were talking about the 12th hole has so many things surrounding, whether it's the swirling wind all the time, whether it's, all this stuff kind of come to fruition, the pressure of Tiger being up there by the leaderboards and the effect that Tiger has on people. Tiger doing, and everything happened on that hole. I believe 4 of the 5 top guys at the time hit it in the water on the 12th hole. Pretty crazy. Tiger comes up, hits it right in the middle of the green, right over that bunker where he needs to, and is back within a shot. Birdie's the next hole. It's crazy to me to see how things his putting was incredible. I called this before the tournament. So I host a golf talk show on ESPN Radio here in Hampton Roads, 94.1. It's called Give Me Par with Hightower and Vogler. And I called Tiger Woods winning 100%. I said, hey, Tiger's my pick. He's got to be. He was looking, he said his game was almost there at the Players. He got, I believe, a top 20 finish at the Players. He looked incredible at the match play and in a tournament that he really hasn't done very well recently. In a format he really hasn't done well recently either. He's not that good of a match play, person or player. He used to be back in his prime, back when he was winning everything. You couldn't, get him. But at the end of the day, you look at it and you're just like, man, he looked good. He beat Rory handily. I mean, it was crazy. I saw a tweet somebody said, who knew that all Tiger needed to do was a kick in the ass by Beauregard in the match play? And that just cracked me up because that's the truth. Tiger missed a couple big putts there. He, had a chance to do it, but it could have been the best thing that happened to him. 2 weeks before the Masters, getting knocked out in the round of 8 or whatever. But it was just very cool to see all the things that happened with him and, everything that happened around around that. It was just very cool and a very awesome thing to see. What's next? That's the question everybody has. Tiger Woods has won the Masters. What's next for Tiger? So obviously he didn't play this week. I don't believe he's going to play next week. Next week's kind of that the partner. It's a cool tournament. I love the Zurich New Orleans because it's a team tournament. So I don't know if they randomly put them together or they pick their partners or whatever, but it's a very cool looking tournament. And, I believe it's like best ball the entire time. It's a very cool tournament. Then you got the Wells Fargo, which I believe he's going to play. It's one of the biggest fields in the country or in the world, one of the best fields in the world. And he loves going down there to Quail Hollow. So I believe that's going to be his next tournament down in Charlotte. And then the PGA is a couple weeks after that. The PGA is less than a month away. Isn't that crazy to think that the PGA Championship is already almost here? It's normally the last major, but now it's the second major almost right after the Masters. I love it. And then you got the Memorial, which he'll probably play a couple weeks after that. The U.S. Open's after that. So I'd say he's going to play almost every other week for the next couple of months. Yeah. So, probably taking a couple weeks off, kind of enjoying his time. You got to look at the Wells Fargo. It's going to be a chance for him to tie Sam Snead. He's got 81 career victories. Sam Snead's got 82. I could see Tiger breaking that record this year. It would not surprise me if Tiger got 83 wins or got 2 more victories this year. And it wouldn't surprise me if one of those was a major, another major. You got to look at the form that he looked going into the Masters. Wasn't 100%, didn't look like he had everything kind of going for him. But you know what? If he can be in contention, I believe that they had said that all the rest of his 4, majors leading, this is the first one that he's won that he's had to fight back from, which is impressive to me. Not as impressive as he had to, fight back, because he's fought back in tournaments before. But the fact that he had to do this in a major and the Masters being that major, that's what made it exciting to me. So I believe he's going to do very well. I don't know if he's going to win the Wells Fargo Championship. He's got a really good chance. He loves the Quail Hollow golf course. But man, he's played very well at Bethpage. You got Pebble a couple weeks after that. It's going to be exciting. It's an exciting summer for golf. I'm excited about it. I'm excited to watch it. I'm excited about these next couple of weeks because he's got to be a favorite in almost every major coming up. Has to be. Whether that's, whether he's not great, that's one of the favorites for every single major for the rest of the year. No one thought he was going to win a major again, let alone the Masters. But he did. The Open, I think out of the 3 remaining majors, I think he's got a better chance of winning the Open Championship than he does any other major. That's just my opinion. It's at Royal Portrush. So, and I believe it's Northern Ireland over there. So I think he's got a better chance of winning that one than any other championship going forward. That's just my opinion. That's the last major. So it'll be interesting to see how that works. But I'm excited, guys. I'm super excited about golf. I'm pumped about what's happening and what has happened so far. It's an exciting time for golf. It's an exciting time for the sport of golf. It's an exciting time for the sports and world in general. When Tiger's back, it's good. He was on the front page of the New York Post. He was on the front page of probably every single paper out there. And this is in the thick of things when it comes to the NFL or the NBA playoffs, the NHL playoffs. There's a lot of things going on. Major League Baseball is going on. And Tiger Woods steals the spotlight from all of them because he's freaking Tiger Woods. That's going to do it here. Every once in a while, I'm going to pop on here and kind of talk about whatever I feel like talking about. Golf is a big thing going on. I host a golf talk show on ESPN Radio, 94.1. I'll put that link in the description below every Sunday from 9:30 to 10 with Kyle Hightower. So if you're in the Hampton Roads area, I encourage you to listen. It's a lot of fun. We talk about it and kind of getting more details into that. And this is kind of just, I'll talk about whatever I want. Sports, I just want more of a platform, and I'm going to create it. I got this cool little setup I got going on here. It's going to be fun. And I hope you guys will join along for the ride. If you haven't done so already, click that subscribe button down below and help us out. Give us a follow. Give us a share. If you like what you're seeing, comment below. Let us know your favorite part. And let us know what the Tiger 1 win meant to you. Let us know. We'd love to hear from you. We love to interact with you guys. Thanks so much. Until next time, roar. Tiger won the 2019 Masters. CT Pan won the RBC Heritage this past weekend. What's next? The Zurich Classic of New Orleans. We'll be back. Have a good one, guys.